Now, welcome to the podcast. This is the Barista Academy podcast, and this is our first pod. My first pod in my life.
Nice.
Actually, well, I was a guest at the pod last week, but this is my first hosting a pod. And this particular one is the first of a series that we're planning with you, Johan, and your coffee journey. And if people wonder what this series is about, well, it's that. It's John and his journey. It's not. It's all about him.
Wow.
And today is going to be an introduction about a little bit about me, but but generally it's going to be about you. But people wants to know maybe in general who we are, and so first of all, who am I? Well, my name is Aldrin, and my journey starts with A43 Coffee, and that's what I run, and also now launching the Barista Academy, where we want to share knowledge and build a community for the coffee industry in general, but very much focus for the local. And what I know about you, Johan, because I don't know much about you. We met a few times, and I know that you're working at Volvo. It's a heavy drinking company, a coffee drinking company. Then maybe alcohol as well, but coffee drinking company, but maybe not the best coffee.
Yeah.
And then from being here in Sweden, you started a journey, which you're gonna tell me about, because I don't know much about that. I'll get to that. But what I do know is that I met you in the competition on the Swedish National Barista. I think I met you before that. And but there you really caught the attention for me, and I think for the whole community in Sweden, where you explained about that you were competing for the first time. You had coffee that's been grown in your garden in India, and you've been roasting the coffee yourself. You really have like the whole, from the seed to the cup experience in the barista competition, and you went over time, if I'm not wrong, which made you disqualified.
Yes.
But as I mentioned, I think and I believe that you caught the heart of the community with the story. And then you also competed in the brewers competition. It went better.
Yep.
You found your place, where you wanted to do, and how to present the bean more pure. And then I know a little bit that I think what I believe is that your coffee interest came here when you moved to Sweden, and then you wanted to elaborate on what you have in your garden, but I don't know much about it. So please tell us a little bit about yourself, and also when, how, and why did all this begin for you with the coffee?
Yeah, so really thank you for the introduction. And my name is Johann Nishant. I'm originally from India, South India to be specific. And I spent a lot of my time in India. I studied there, and I did my university there. So I studied engineering, computer science engineering, actually. A lot of Indians do that for some reason, sort of forced to do that. But I love computers as well. It's a cool part of I like that. But in the end of my university, I did my internship pratique here in Sweden with Volvo. And I came here during January and February, the best months of the year, honestly. And it was so dark and cold, I never wanted to come back again. I just went back and I'm like, yep, that was a good 2 months, but no more. But I spent most of my life at that time in India, so I wanted to try something different. So I was able to continue the same internship into a job, basically here. And so I moved to Sweden in 2017.
So you came back?
Yeah, I came back because I love the weather. No, I'm joking. But coffee, until that point in my life, so coffee is a big part of Indian culture. People don't talk about it maybe outside India. People think people only drink tea there. But I think coffee is a big part of South Indian culture, especially South India. But it's the majority of people, the coffee they drink and the coffee I had drunk until that point was something called South Indian filter coffee. So it's all of those words don't mean the same thing what you talk about here. It's a type of percolation. It's not like a filter used like in the traditional way here.
Do you have this home?
I have it
here in Sweden.
Yeah, I have it here.
Next time we'll bring it.
Of course. It's you go to any South Indian's home, they will have this setup and a very specific type of coffee, which uses a lot of robusta, a lot of chicory, which is not even coffee.
Yeah.
It's a adulterant, but people love the taste so much. So until that point, I moved to Sweden. Coffee for me was South Indian filter coffee, something my mother made. It was a very tasty, sugary, milky drink which tasted a bit like coffee, and people would want it a bit more strong. That means a little bit more coffee taste in that time. But it was awesome. I still enjoy that. It's something for me like I don't know what for Swedish people, maybe it's like your ketchup and macaroni. I don't know. Like it's like that. It's like a core part, and I used to enjoy eating it with like little biscuits or kakor, maybe like a particular one from India. I still bring that here. So, and I used to dip it, and there's a little time you also before you dip it at the right time. If you dip it too much, it falls inside, and it's a mess. Yeah. So it's a whole experience there, and so that was my definition of coffee until I came to Sweden. And when I came to Sweden, it was more this black drink, right? And I did try it a lot. It was initially, I perceived it as very bitter, and it was, I used to add a lot of milk and sugar to try to compensate. But I had a couple of friends, and one of them, his name is Sawyer. He actually was one of these coffee enthusiasts, you can say. So he had a bag of gringo coffee from, I think it was a Sumatran coffee, exactly. And he made an AeroPress for me, I think in 2020. And I think it was a little bit before that, and 2019 sometime. And it blew my mind. I'm like, wow, is this what coffee could be? It really changed what I thought and what could be coffee. And so me as a person, I feel, this is my self-perception, is I can be quite passionate about things. So before I came to Sweden, another big passion of mine was astronomy and space, and I went all in to that. So if I like a hobby, I like to go all in, like
Cool.
like the entire process. I don't want to say I don't want to do one part of it. So it was a bit, and when I moved to Sweden, unfortunately the weather prevents me from doing astronomy at the same level. So I had to find something else. And coffee seemed like an interesting thing, right? It has incredible depth you can go into. You can, starting from, like what you said, the seed all the way to the cup, right? It's the amount of knowledge you can gain in that end to end is staggering. I think it's I like now being into it for about 5 years. Quite deep, I would say. I spent quite a bit of time into it. I am basically scratching the surface. You hear people, you see people who have gone super deep into one niche, and you can gain so much knowledge, and you see incredible things, and the taste incredible things as well. So I tried to go deep into coffee after tasting this, and I was lucky enough to actually live near Gringo, near Kungstien, where they were located. So I used to go right into their roastery at that time and purchase some of this, and it was, my journey started then. It was accelerated by the pandemic, you can say. I had more time, and it was for sure something I could do more. But then,
So we're one of the typical homeworking people that got into coffee.
yes, yes, I can say that, yeah. But I went quite deep into it, and I also go back to India almost every year. So almost 1.5 months every year, I try to be back in India. I love it, and uh, when I went back once, I started to also see what is the Indian coffee scene a bit. So I tried to buy some Indian coffee, and traditionally on the world stage, Indian coffee has traditionally been known. I even saw your chart there as full-bodied, kind of monsoon Malabar. These are the traditional words, and many of the times used perhaps in a blend to round off a blend in a way, and but I see, and I have experienced, there's a huge revival happening. This whole specialty coffee movement and single origin, sort of more Arabica, and even Robusta, more specialty Robusta, and now even Liberica. A lot of that is coming quite a lot. So I tried a lot of the coffee there. And I also had a really close family friend, you can say. He was growing coffee as well in this part of India where I'm originally from. So I was able initially to take some of his green beans and try roasting it as well. So I tried to go all in. So I got myself a roaster. It was an Elio Bullet roaster at that time, and I bought it here in Sweden. And it was an electric roaster. So I had it on my kitchen, this range hood. So under that, I used to roast some of the coffee which I got from him in India. And it used to, the whole house used to smell like a roastery. I'm very surprised they didn't ask me for that when I vacated the apartment. They didn't ask me for some sort of money for that, because I used it a bit like a roastery in some way. But I learned a lot, the principles of roasting, and I also tried buying different beans and trying to learn that part. It was very exciting, and so I tried to improve, but it's still I stayed very low batches, small batches, you can say, not very big, not scaling out or anything like that. Just learning roasting, starting with medium and how it is to roast light, and sometimes some of the, like my wife's mother, she despised light and medium coffee. She needed dark roast, so even to satisfy her, sometimes I used to roast a bit darker. But
second crack.
yeah, exactly. Yes, second crack, yes, exactly. But at around this time, maybe it was around 2018 or something like that. This is actually before. My parents also were able to get a farm in India. This is in the region called Kodaikanal in the south of India. So it's about 1,500 meters above sea level. And my father has always been into gardening, and so he really wanted to grow more his own produce and things like that. And but this farm primarily is growing avocados, plums, and bananas, and even lemons and things like that. But it had a few coffee plants here and there. I don't know how it got there. Maybe it was the previous owner had planted some, but there were a few coffee plants around. And I was able to, I immediately saw that, and I'm like, wow, this is nice. I started plucking some, and we were able to get a small harvest, you can say. And we tried to basically, the first year, it was my mother actually, she ensured it was a bit collected, and she gave me like just a bag of this, like just the beans. And this is the first year, and I didn't know what to do with it at that time. I was not even a bit interested at that time, because my interest started in 2021, but this farm was a little bit before that. So I think the first year I just wasted it. Sadly, I didn't do anything with it. But as my interest grew, I tried to see what we can do with the farm, with the coffee we had. And so we tried to collect the first year where we actually put some thought into it, was when we collected all the coffee cherries from the farm. And we didn't, I also, when I'm doing a hobby or something, I try to, I mean, it's easy to get a consultant, I guess, and get someone to show you step by step what to do. But we were not looking at this like a business venture to get most yield or most, nothing like that. It was more to learn and to see what you can do with this. So we tried from scratch. Just so the first year we just took the cherries, dried them on the patio, you can say. And the interesting thing was we don't have a machine yet to hull the dried coffee. So the first year, some of our staff actually removed it by hand, like piece cherry by cherry. It's insane. They were so angry at the end of it, but they did it. They were still, all of them are there, and still now. And but we were able to get some coffee, like green coffee, you can say, which has been dried in a certain way and hand hulled, you can say. Even the parchment layer, which is insane. I don't know if anybody maybe back in the day have done this, but I don't think today people do that in that scale. It was quite almost 2 kilograms or something of green beans I was able to get. So I brought that to Sweden and I roasted it for the first time with my Elio bullet. And I was really pleasantly surprised with the coffee. The first year, this is the first year, right? So we didn't do anything, no processing, just drying. And that's technically a natural process. And
Exactly.
yeah, and we just brought it, and no particular data on timing, nothing. It's just natural, pure natural, you can say. And brought it here and roasted, and it was pretty good, you know. It had really some little bit plum kind of notes and all of this. And so I was like very happy with this. I was very like, wow, this is something which is possible, something which we can do more with. So the subsequent year, and even in that year, we started to get more plants and plant them. But the issue is in India, you can get coffee saplings and seeds from the government. Basically, there is a government function called the Coffee Board of India. But this is my opinion again, and people might have differing opinions here, but a lot of the seeds they provide, they have maybe a mixture of this, little bit of this Robusta, the Timor, that particular subvarietal, where it's maybe bred in a way for being pest resistant, more yield focused, and taste maybe is not the a primary focus, right?
I can imagine that if the government providing for for businesses and so on, it's about making money. So.
Exactly. So even today, it's very hard to get tasty varietals in India, which are known perhaps in the worldwide, varietals which are more known for maybe like a high scoring varietal. I don't want to say any particular varietals, but so even at that time, the first year we planted varietals from people. We didn't think a lot about where we should plant and should like all particular varietals be in an area. We just planted them in a lot of places. Thinking back, big mistake, but it worked. They grew very well, and now they are actually fruiting very well, I think. And I know, actually, I'm not. I think it's going well. But the big issue is we don't know what we have in the farm today. So a lot of the coffee, which but maybe I don't know which direction you want to go. Now I've touched upon the beginnings. Do you want to ask anything?
Yeah,
else?
you come there quite a bit, but
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you can continue. I think you continue the journey.
Yeah. Okay. So this is now when we planted a few coffee beans the first year, and the second year is we actually I started trying more coffee here in Sweden, and of course, like many of the other people, I was impressed with a lot of these anaerobic fermentations and more process heavy coffees, if you will, some of the tastes there. And I thought, why not try something? It was, looking back, not a very good idea, but we tried a bit of and all of this was done remotely the second year. So I tried to have like a WhatsApp call with the people in the farm and try to go through like a presentation on processing on what I had read up. It's not like I had some great knowledge back then, but on how we can use simple yeast to try to ferment it and use buckets instead of just purely just drying it out, and trying to sort beans like floaters out. So basic processing, if you will, was the second year. But the funny thing is, the second year, after all this, where we put more thought into it and more labor, if you will, into it, it didn't taste that good. There was something, a very strange aftertaste. I don't know what it was, but it was a bit weird, honestly. And the next year, like this was the year where I could be in India. I could be in the farm during the harvest season. So it makes a huge difference when you're there and when you're not there. It's very hard to communicate over Teams and or WhatsApp or whatever. But this year, thankfully, I had the opportunity to be there in the harvest season, which is around November, and it finishes about January. And I was able to get. One thing I realized is the buckets they were using were not very food grade. It's so it was not like a bad, but it was also there was a little bit of like it was a little bit of this plasticky smell, from this bucket. So I switched all of it to food grade, like a beer fermentation buckets actually. It looks very good and very easy to clean, and we also got like these air locks, so we can actually experiment with like an anoxic or anaerobic environments in some way. So and I was able to do some data basically to take what are the batches we have, and this year I was really happy with how it turned out to be. The same coffee, so I'm not sure what varietal it is. I know they're Arabica, all of it is Arabica, but not exactly which types. The people we have on the farm, they say some more local names in the local language, but it's hard to translate that to a particular specific varietal, which it is. But yeah, so that's been how it's been a lot so far. Still roasting on the same coffee and trying to do it end to end.
Nice. I can really imagine that the plastic had its effect.
Yeah.
I once forgot a bag on a shelf and for a week or 2 weeks, I remember, and it was in the summer, so the sun was hitting the bag in the morning.
Yeah.
And then after 2 weeks, something, I opened it up and it smells weird, and I tried it and was, this coffee tastes so weird.
Yeah.
And I said to the roaster, like, because it was a test thing, like, yeah, I don't know, what do you do with this coffee? This test is weird. So weird. And he was shocked. He's like, no, it tasted good when he tried it. And then I explained. And said, maybe this could be it. And I said, yes, this could probably be it. Because he had the same experience, but he had left a bag of coffee very close to the roaster once, which also gave a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And he said it also made it very weird because the plastic somehow. So affected it. So it definitely, I think that could have been a big impact.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about how it works to be remote, because sometimes it's good to be there sometimes to see what's actually going on. What do we have? You ask people to buy something and they will buy it, but maybe you didn't think about putting the framework of what are we buying. It's interesting. Nice. You mentioned like in the first year when you made all your staff to peel them off, you had like 2 kilograms of coffee. Was this raw coffee? So 2 kilograms of raw coffee ends up to be roughly about 1.7 kilos of roasted coffee, and 1 kilogram of roasted coffee, light roasted, it's about 7,000 to 8,000 beans, right? So it's about, that means it's about 4,000 cherries, 8,000, but it's almost 2. It's about 8,000 cherries that they handle, like they handled by hand. So just to give like an image of what we're talking about, when it says 2 kilograms, and you think, oh, that's not much, but we talk about 8,000 cherries. So it's a lot of work, but it really gives you respect for the bean and understanding of the process. And I believe still a lot of farms are doing it today. And I don't think it's to think that everybody has the mechanical process. I think a lot of farms still don't have the resources to get the mechanical process.
Us too. We don't have the machines now. We are this last season when we got a much bigger harvest. We used one of our friends.
I was gonna say some might rent in or something to get help to do it. So that is probably a process, part of the process to start until if you can buy your own machine. And today, how much do you grow per year today?
So the last year, the harvest was 127 kilograms.
Wow, went from 2 kilograms to 127.
And this 2 kilograms was the green weight.
The green weight,
But this is also the cherry weight now, 127.
The cherry. And how much does a bean, like the whole cherry, weight in comparison to the beans that you get out?
That's a good question. It's a huge loss of
weight.
And you see the process grow. I mean, when you pluck, like this year, we harvested about 127, 128 kilograms. Right? That sounds like a lot of coffee to me, who is not like selling coffee and things like that. And we're selling a little bit and giving a bit, and it's more a serious hobby, not a business, right? So that sounds like a lot, but the moment you dry it, you notice a huge percentage is lost. The moment you hull it, even bigger is lost. The moment you finally roast it, and it's even more. So I don't have the exact figure, but I think you are stuck with about 20% of your original weight, something around that you get back. So if you have 127 kilograms or 100 kilograms of coffee, you will maybe have 20 kilograms of something of roasted coffee.
Wow.
I need to, I'm not sure of the exact number, but around that. I figured
out. That's like 80%. I mean, and then you have to hand pick this and carry this, and then all you get is that little. Oh, it's incredible. That was more than I thought. That's huge. And you've been elaborating a little bit with processing, like you said, anaerobic and so on. How many different process methods have you, like batches of processes, have you gone through until today?
So we started out with pure natural, just drying, no specific fermentation. We are doing it's, of course, even just drying it, there's some fermentation happening. But we tried the anaerobic fermentation, so putting it in a environment where it's a little bit oxygen less, you can say. It's a little bit anoxic, people say. So you have it in a bucket, and where you have a lid and maybe an airlock so that air can go out but not in. So we tried that. We tried some variations of that. We tried to add external inoculants, if you will. We tried yeast once, and specifically this the most common one, this baker's yeast or Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So to add external yeast to see does this do anything to the fermentation, and it definitely does. It's like a booster, if you will, and we also tried adding other things like all the craze now is co-ferments, right? So we added mango, and that was pretty interesting. We added passion fruit. That was also kind of cool. And I will for sure try more of that to see, because of course I do personally also enjoy like a good washed coffee, but like for us right now, we do not yet have the full capital to have a pulping machine, because for a washed coffee you need to have a machine which can pulp this, but also a machine to hull it. So you need two machines, right? Which it is an expense. You need to think about it, how you're going to maintain it, where you're going to keep it. It's a lot to think about as well. So I would love to do a washed sometime in the future, because I think a lot of people have opinions on the word terroir. Many people think that you can achieve a lot by processing and fermentation, but a lot of other people say the land, the climate, the rainfall, the other aspects also contribute a lot to the overall flavor. So I would love to taste a pure washed coffee with minimal external fermentation to see how the coffee could taste. But so someday a washed and a honey, but we're not there yet.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you said, this is a hobby, a very deep time invested hobby and financial invested hobby, and it's not only your time; it's more people involved. It's a lot of people's time. What is your goal with all this?
To just produce really good coffee, and to be honest, to put India a little bit more known on the coffee map. Like a lot of people here, as I mentioned at the start, do not see India as a serious contender on world coffee stages. It was very interesting for me, like this competing in brewers, right? I know a lot of the people there, the top three, and most of the people there were competing with seriously good coffee. Panama Geishas from like celebrity farmers, right? Like these big names like Jamison Savage, or you like these people who have won awards for their coffee and they sell for ridiculous amounts of money. So it was really incredible that I was, for example, able to go to the finals, place sixth with coffee, which like me, this person called Ganesan from the farm and another guy called Palani from the farm who's plucking. So we three are the total involved people, and sometimes my father brings the coffee here as well in some interesting ways. So these are the people involved, right? It's not much. So I was so taken aback that this coffee can, of course, it will take many more years to maybe beat some of these other coffees, or even I'm not even sure that's possible, but to be on the same stage with some of the big names, it was a very cool experience for me. And I would love to see what more can we do with that.
Wow.
Because even brewers and even espresso, barista competitions, I don't want to say that, but it could be easy to make a Panama Geisha shine. But I wonder if the competitions look more at not only the story. I don't want to purely come from a story aspect, but also the brewing aspect, right? Is that So I'm just excited to see how can we compete more with this. And
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because, like you say, like the story is one thing, but when it comes to the score sheet, to actually get a good position in the competition, the story doesn't have a value. It doesn't have any points. It has an overall value, but it's not like a big scorer. So it's really interesting, your idea of like climbing up the ladder, bring India up to the stage, and how to do it. It's it's quite a journey you got ahead. So the goal is far ahead. It's a very long-term goal. It must be, because it's not Rome is not built in a day.
And just on that point, a lot of other people are doing a great job as well to bring Indian coffee up. I think there are a few farms in India which are really good, who are more full-time farmers, if you will, who are phenomenally taking Indian coffee to really good levels as well.
Nice.
So it's nice to see that on a whole.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to try some more Indian coffee and see where it's going. And recently you told me that you were talking about different varieties, and you told me recently that you're trying to get hold of some other popular varieties to bring them to India to see what can they bring in your farm. How was that? How was the journey of getting hold of other beans?
So this is I found this incredibly challenging. There is no Amazon or I don't know what's the equivalent. Like, there is no online retailers for coffee seeds. It's if you find one, let me know. I tried searching a lot, and I'm pretty good at searching for things, and there is a big lack of this ability to get good quality seeds, where you know specifically this is the varietal, this is how it behaves. And there are I think World Coffee Research and things, they have a catalog and they help in some areas, but it's not easy from one person to just go click, I want to buy this or something like that, and you get that. So it's been really challenging to find this. I've asked so many people over the years when they are traveling to a country maybe they can bring back a few, but my hope is to scale out a bit and to really have quite a lot of varietals in specific areas of the farm. So I've tracked down one guy through LinkedIn. His name is Carlos, and he's from Colombia.
Gracias, Carlos.
Yeah, exactly. And it was really good. It's a bit tricky to just have a random conversation on the internet and just try to, because this is quite like almost a deal you're trying to make with somebody.
Like a black market.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was all legit, because for me the most important thing was, do we know what this varietal is? Are we 100% sure this is what we want? Because I was, of course, after particular varietals, like, for example, the Gesha, Pacamara, and the Bourbon varietal, just because I want to see how they behave in India, these varietals. Even Gesha, which Panama is known for a lot today, it started out from Ethiopia. It didn't start in Panama, right? So I wanted to see what we can do with this in India. It's not very well known, like, for example, Gesha from India. I know there's one farm, maybe they're having some form of Gesha, but it's only one, I think. So anyway, I found this guy, and it was very good. He's a very educated guy, and he works closely with, he's, I think, related to a very, very famous farmer. Carlos Rojas is his name. Exactly. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Correcting you, but that was not my point.
Exactly. Yeah. And so he was able to get. He knew about the source. He was able to also get particular certification that this is the correct varietal here. This is not something else, which is very important for me. It, of course, came with a premium price because extra things needed to be done, and I wanted to be absolutely sure this is what it is. And so we talked a lot, we exchanged a lot of documentation, and it was almost a month of these sort of discussions, and I actually made this payment. It's always tricky to make something before you get something, and so we did that, and I was able to receive it, and now it's actually in India. It's the saplings are planted. The seeds are planted, and I actually have a few pictures where some parts are growing tiny bits. The hope is I got about 3 kilograms of seeds of these varietals, and that's quite a lot of 3 kilograms is, like you mentioned, I think almost thousands of seeds. So my hope is to we do not want to make the same mistake as last time and handle it in one big bag. I really stressed the importance of keeping everything separate.
Yeah, I can imagine, because when the what's it called, when the flower and the whole pollination happens, I feel it can be easily out of control.
Yeah, and it is a gamble. It's like the Gesha variety. It's extremely tricky to grow. It's not very pest resistant, and it's requires a lot more care. So it is a gamble to see if this is actually going to work in India with the staff we have, because many of the farms, they require a large amount of staff to ensure round the year care to get the quality. But we'll see how it goes, basically. How are we going to do it?
Well, I really hope for the best.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't mix up everything.
No, but it's we have taken important steps to address that.
Nice.
So we have put it in separate areas with a boundary and with clear, like we got boards made now, like metal boards, which clearly state this. So it's really, hopefully as separate as it can be. Yeah.
Nervous about it?
Even
though you've done everything,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how safe you are about something, you can still be nervous. It's the first time.
It's
it's gonna be first pollination period, everything coming, and don't know how everything is gonna act.
Exactly.
And so you said the harvest is in November to January, which is pretty soon.
Yeah, it is.
And last time you were there in the harvest period, or in the
harvest period.
And now you're having a child in December, so you're not going there.
No, I'm not going there. No.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
And that's another journey we will be following here.
That's another journey.
So hopefully, the idea is that we're going to meet here once a month and follow the journey and see the steps. Of course, when exactly we don't know, because you're going to have a child now soon. And so for all respect, I have 3 children, so put all the attention to that. But we'll see if we find a little slot here and there.
Yep.
For you and the farmer, so what is the next step? Like, let's say we're gonna meet in roughly a month's time, which is into the harvest season. What's gonna happen from now until then?
Yeah. So now what I'm actually doing right now in the free time I get is planning the processes. So we know roughly how much we will get.
What do you expect?
My goal this year is 150 plus to break a bit more than that. I know a certain amount of plants will be fruiting more for the first time, and the things we have planted as well. We did get one area of the farm with varietals we know, which we are a bit aware of from another farmer. We got some saplings. So it's exciting to see what will happen there. So even this time, we will try at least that part to process a bit separately, but the majority is still going to be this mixed bag, if you will. So
Indian heirloom.
Yeah, Indian heirloom. Exactly. It's fun to roast this. It's when you're roasting a bunch like this, you will have to be on your toes, like 1 minute before first crack, because you don't know what's happening, and the whole popping thing, right? in a normal, when you know exactly which varietal it is, it's probably going to last for 20-30 seconds. I don't know. But when it's this, it just keeps popping, you know. So it's fun. But anyway, just to plan the processes a bit, and that's keep it ready and get all the equipment ready. So we do this in a proper way, and to just ensure, because now I'm not there, so I will be very happy if we do as good and better, just to not go below, because in every coffee farm, consistency is I've heard is the most important.
Yeah, that was everything you do in life that you want to progress with is all about consistency all the time.
Yep.
Even if you do it on a slower pace in some parts of your life, it's all about being consistent with that line where you're following and just continuing. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you would like to put in today?
No, it's just I really encourage all the aspiring baristas to really experience the other side as well, to go to the farm. I'm sure there are numerous all around the world. Each country has its own speciality and the way they do it. It's a really a lot of work they do. Like I'm doing it like a hobby, but many other people do it very seriously with a lot of care and effort through the year. So really, when we are brewing a coffee or making an espresso or giving it to a customer, it's so much that has happened till it got here, right? Every step of the way, it's insane. Especially specialty coffee. So it's I would really encourage the people to go closer there, talk more. I think it's very much many times that I'm sure they would love to talk to you as well.
I think a lot of baristas would like to do it, but it's hard in many ways. It's connections, it's financials, it's all the things. And also this is one of the reasons we have this part. It's in order to bring that part a little bit closer to the people, and hopefully they at some point they will be able to go and experience it themselves.
Yes.
And don't put yourself down as a hobby, because man, you want to bring India to the map of the top. So it cannot really be a hobby fully. It's a passion.
Yeah, it's a passion.
There's a hobby and there's a passion.
Yeah.
And at some point it has to be turned into a business as well in order to actually get there. So so it starts with a hobby. It's now turned into a passion.
Yeah.
And a research project, which is going to end very well, hopefully.
Yep.
Well, I really look forward to the next update, and thank you very much for being here today. I got the goose skin here. It's amazing.
Nice.
I really look forward to this.
Yeah.
I will learn so much from this. I hope people will learn a lot from this, and I hope that this also might lead to sharing knowledge and everybody to be able to progress better.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you soon again.
You.